Good morning, I'm Angelo Castro III.
I'm Angela, and we are the Castros.
We bring you the news.
And the views that make you think.
Sometimes we agree.
Sometimes we don't.
This is News and Views.
And here are today's headlines.
ICC prosecutors have charged former President Rodrigo Duterte with 3 counts of murder for alleged crimes against humanity during his time as Davao City Mayor and President.
The Senate Blue Ribbon Committee resumes its investigation into anomalous flood control projects.
The DILG is now looking at possible terrorist involvement in Sunday's violent clashes in Manila.
President Bongbong Marcos has ordered the return of 60 billion pesos in excess funds to PhilHealth from the National Treasury. First in the news, International Criminal Court prosecutors have charged former President Rodrigo Duterte with 3 counts of murder, citing alleged crimes against humanity during his tenure as Davao City Mayor and President. The 15-page filing by Deputy Prosecutor named Mandiaye Niang details Duterte's alleged responsibility for 19 killings in Davao City, 14 high-value targets during his presidency, and 45 victims in nationwide barangay clearing operations. Prosecutors allege Duterte and his co-perpetrators followed a common plan to target suspected criminals, including drug offenders, through violent means. Duterte is currently detained at The Hague, and a hearing initially set for September 23 was postponed after his lawyers cited Duterte's declining health, claiming he is unfit to stand trial. Okay, so So supposedly today yung confirmation of charges sa Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa The Hague, pero yun nga dahil dun sa hiningi nga ng defense na siya ay unfit daw, there are information na hindi na daw alam ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. But finally ito nga yung
charges
have been brought down
so
by
yun,
the prosecutor.
Malinaw, one of the important dyan yung 3 counts of murder stemming from Davao City Mayor all the way to Philippine President. So yung 3 counts na yun. And it ends up to the time na we were still under the jurisdiction of the ICC. So those are the charges that are being hinahain against the former president.
And this is a developing story. We will let you know, diba, kung ano pa yung magiging information regarding this. But for those who just tuned in, ICC prosecutors charge ex-President Rodrigo Duterte with 3 counts of murder.
This is in connection with the EJK, stemming from what I said na kanina na yung Davao City Mayor all the way to Philippine President.
And today,
ang daming mainit.
Yes,
let's move ahead with the news. The Senate Blue Ribbon Committee has resumed its investigation into the alleged anomalies in flood control projects. More evidence against those implicated are expected to be disclosed. Now let's watch this.
Bryce, narinig mo yung salaysay ni Engineer Alcantara. Sumasang-ayon ka ba sa pagkakaalam mo sa lahat ng sinabi ni Engineer Henry?
Opo. Actually, lahat po ng dinideliver niya, kami nga po ang nag-aayos ng mga pera nito. Kagaya po nung nasabi ko sa mga unang hearing po natin.
So para lang malinaw, lahat ng sinabi niya under affidavit, under oath, sa tingin mo, kino-corroborate mo yung kanyang sinasabi, na tama ang sinasabi niya?
Opo, Your Honor. Meron lang pong ilang ilang tao na hindi niya nabanggit, pero hindi ko po masabi yun kasi po baka kasuhan din po ako ng libel.
Yung mga taong hindi niya binabanggit ay mga taong nakilala mo o alam mong siya lang nakakilala?
Si boss po. At saka po, meron po akong knowledge regarding sa pagbababa po niya ng pondo and projects po sa office. Baka po nakalimutan lang ni boss kung banggitin.
Sige. Mr. Chairman, I hope we can also put together the testimonies of Mr. Hernandez and Mr. Alcantara na nagmamatch yung kanilang mga kwento.
Eventually, we'll do that and submit everything to the ICI. No?
So kulang, pero tama ang nasabi niya, pero kulang. Yan ang sinasabi mo?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Alright, maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat po.
Let me ask the representative of PCC, si Attorney Christian De Los Santos. Are you here? Yes. Attorney De Los Santos. Magandang araw.
Morning, Your Honors.
Can you give us an update? Alam ko na Chairman Aguinaldo is pursuing bid manipulation, bid rigging, filing different cases towards the contractors. Can you give us an update there?
Yes, Your Honor. So we are already doing our preliminary inquiry of this case. So we are looking at the contractors that were named during the SONA and the other contractors that were mentioned during the Senate Blue Ribbon hearings. So the next step right now is to gather evidence, the bid documents, possible communication exchanges between them.
Attorney, ang testimonya dito sa Blue Ribbon ay maaari niyong gamiting ebidensya, tama?
Yes, Your Honor. We have
So
done-
pag inaamin na nagbabayad ako, kapag inaward sa amin ang proyekto, or kapag merong testimonya ang DPWH na finifix nila o niririg nila yung mga bid dito, nakakatulong yan sa inyong investigasyon?
Yes, Your Honor. It helps.
Okay. At tama ba na ang multa or fine dito sa bid rigging ay up to 100 million per instance, first offense, 250 million for second offense moving forward?
Yes, Your Honor. It's actually up to 110 million, Your Honors, because the amount has been adjusted.
Tinaas na.
Yes, 110 million and then 110 to 250 and then for succeeding 250 pataas po.
Okay, pinag-uusapan kasi natin kanina with Secretary Remulla kung gaano kahalaga na hindi lang makulong yung mga kasangkot kung hindi mabalik rin yung pera, no? Yung
Yes.
isang paraan, yung voluntary, na posibleng sila na mismo ang magbabalik bilang sign of good faith. Yung pangalawa, pwede rin ito. Tama ba to, Attorney?
Yes, Your Honor. So we can impose the fine of 110 million per incident or count of violation.
Per incident.
Yes.
So kung naka-10 kontrata ako, pwedeng 1 billion yon. In fact, more. Baka pwedeng 2 billion yon.
Yes, Your
Ang
Honor.
multa sa'yo.
Yes,
no?
Your Honor.
Ang kakasuhan nyo dito ay yung mga contractor or pati yung DPWH o yung contractors lang, yung participants in the bidding?
Mainly the contractors, Your Honor. However, the public officers may also be prosecuted or filed as facilitators
Kung meron silang porsyento.
if they are participating in the scheme, Your Honor.
If they're participating in the scheme,
Yes, Your
meaning sila yung tumulong na marig yung bid, marahil may porsyento rin sila, so pwede rin silang multahan
As facilitators, Your
as facilitators, no?
Yes,
So itong and if I'm not mistaken, the PCC, dahil may quasi-judicial powers ito, kaya niyang gawin ito on its own.
Yes, Your Honor.
In fact, ginagawa niyo na yung investigation.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you will probably have a hearing very soon.
We have already issued some requests for the documents with the DPWH and the relevant agencies, Your Honor, like the SEC, so that we can study the corporate structures, the entities, and the people involved, Your Honor.
Okay. Anong timeline niyo dito, Attorney?
I cannot commit the timeline, Your Honor. Under the law, we have 90 days to complete the preliminary part, and then after that, it would depend on the number of entities involved, the complexity of the scheme. Sometimes, iba kasi yung scheme nila, Your Honor, it's not very straightforward.
Yes.
So we have to look behind that, and then it also depends on the counts of the violation. So some incidents can be straightforward, others are not. So we don't have a definite timeline on that.
Pero pwede naman siyang per count, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor, we can prioritize.
You can prioritize. So ang mungkahi ko, gaya ng minungkahi ko kay Secretary Remulla, Attorney, mahalaga sa taong bayan na mabalik yung pera.
Yes.
You know, nung isang araw, trillion peso march yun kasi aabot ng trillion peso yung nawala sa kaban ng bayan. So kung may balik tayo kahit papaano, malaking bagay yan. Mahalaga yun na mabalik natin yan. So I hope the PCC, as it was created, can really pursue these cases. At alam ko kasi na hindi kayo evidence beyond reasonable doubt. Dito sa mga multa, anong hinahanap lang ninyo?
Substantial evidence, Your Honor.
Just substantial evidence. And even the testimonies here can already be used as substantial evidence.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, bilisan po ninyo, galingan po ninyo, at tumulong po ang Philippine Competition Commission dito po sa pagbalik ng pera. No, mahalaga po ito. Naiintindihan po yan ng ating Secretary of Justice. I'm sure kahit po kayo, naiintindihan nyo yan.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and hindi naman to isang kaso sa lahat, di ba? Ano to, maraming kaso to sa maraming tao.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so meaning hindi natin kailangan hintayin na lahat ng ebidensya, ng lahat ng contractor, ng lahat ng kasangkot sa DPWH ay may mabuo. Pwede itong per instance, magmulta na kaagad.
Yes, Your Honor. So per count po, pwede po natin siyang i-prioritize. Kung ano yung meron ng evidence, pwede na po natin siyang isampa.
Sige, I recommend that you do this quickly, no, para rin sa taong bayan. Maraming salamat, Attorney De Los Santos. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Chairman, that's for my first round. Yun na muna po.
Thank you very much. Senator Erwin Tulfo is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Meron po ba representative ng Department of Public Works and Highways dito? Yung current po, hindi po yung mga nasibak na, yung mga nasa posisyon po. Yung representative po ni Secretary Vince Dizon? Okay.
Meron? Ayan, bababa.
Sir, have you taken your oath? Not yet.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, please state your name and your position with the DPWH.
My name is Undersecretary Eric Ayapana, and I am in charge of the external convergence projects of the department and the technical services in NBCDO.
Will you be able to answer po yung lumabas po sa media na pagsisira po ng mga dokumento ng inyong mga tauhan or ng Baguio City Engineering Office? Will you be able to answer that? Kailan po ito nangyari?
Sir, I have no personal knowledge, sir.
All right, Mr. Chair. I guess it's just Secretary Vince Dizon will be able to answer that question. Nevertheless, Mr. Chair, I would like to go now to Miss Sally Santos of SIMS. Miss Sally, are you here? Okay. Miss Sally, sabi mo po, wini-withdraw niyo po yung pera. Bakit po napupunta pala yung pera? Ba't po napupunta yung mga bayad sa proyekto sa inyong account? Sa bangko?
Kasi po yung mga project na sila Bryce po yung gumawa, sabi po, tinatransfer po doon sa account ko yung mga pera na yon, tapos dinideliver ko po sa kanila.
Magkano po yung pinakamalaki na wini-withdraw ninyo sa bangko?
457 million po yun.
457. Hindi po ninyo kailangan ng armor truck noon kung ganun kalaki na masyado? Kailangan na po ba ng armor truck?
Hindi naman po kasi minsan po kasi dalawang hati po. Tapos sinasakay ko lang po sa sakyan po.
Saan po nilalagay po yun? Sa sako? Sa duffel bag?
Hindi
sa bag?
Po, sa mga kahon po, sir.
Kahon. Galing po sa bangko, ibinibigay sa inyo, nakakahon na.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Okay. Hindi pa po sila nagtatanong kung saan nyo po gagamitin, saan nyo dadalhin na napakalaking pera?
Hindi naman po. Kasi po...
Kilala na kayo?
Opo.
Ano-anong bangko po ito? Can you just mention na pangalan po ng mga bangko?
Land Bank Malolos Highway lang po.
Land Bank sa gobyerno?
Yes
okay.
po, Your Honor.
Ano pa po? Yun lang po?
Yun lang po, Your Honor.
Land Bank Malolos.
Yes, Your
Mr.
Honor.
Chair, may I suggest that we invite the Malolos Land Bank Manager kasi doon pa lang, Mr. Chair, nakapagtataka na napakalaki pong halaga ng pera ang iwi-withdraw at binibigay po sa ito, sa mga taong ito. Dapat po doon, common sense will tell you mukhang may problema. Ganito po kalaki. Siguro po may manifest, Mr. Chair, that we invite in the next hearing po the manager of Land Bank.
Noted, Senator Erwin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. All right, panghuling katanungan na lamang po, Miss Sally. Yung sinasabi niyo lisensya, na natatakot kayo kasi baka hindi kayo bibigyan ng proyekto. Sinabi ba sa inyo ito personal nila Bryce at saka nila JP, nila Alcantara na hindi ka nabibigyan ng proyekto pag hindi mo pinahiram yan?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sino raw ang nasa likod nito? Meron ba silang ginamit po na politiko?
Wala naman po.
Wala naman po. All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Let me move now to Mr. Bryce Hernandez and JP Mendoza. Kayong dalawa. Okay. At any point ba nakita nyo pumasyal sa inyong opisina kasi sabi ni Mr. Alcantara kanina na na-meet niya na si Saldico. Naririnig niyo na ba ang pangalan Saldico o nakapasyal na po ba siya sa inyong opisina sa Bulacan?
Hindi pa po, Your Honor.
Ikaw, Mr. Bryce.
Hindi po sa opisina, Your Honor.
Na-meet mo na si Ginoong Saldico, si Congressman Saldico. Saan mo na-meet?
Nakita ko po. Nakita ko po siya.
Saan mo nakita?
Doon po sa sa Shangri-La.
Bakit mo siya nakita?
Magkakausap po siya ni boss.
So kasama ka ni Engineer Alcantara nung kausap ni Congressman Saldico si Engineer Alcantara.
Opo, pero naka-distance po ako. Hindi po yung kausap po.
Hindi po kayo kausap.
Opo.
Usap lang po yun. Wala po kayong dineliver na pera or what?
Nag-deliver din po kami ng pera pero hindi po directly kay sa kanya. Bali yun nga pong
Sinong kanya po? Sinong kanya?
hindi po namin directly nakita si Kong Saldi.
Okay.
Ang pinakausap po sa amin yung tao niya pong pangalan ni Paul.
Paul. Okay. So a certain Paul na tao ni Kong Saldi.
Opo, Your Honor.
Ang inabutan niyo ng pera.
Opo.
Sa pagkakaalala, alam mo magkanong pera yung inabot mo doon sa tao ni Kong Saldi na si Paul?
Maraming maleta po ng pera yon, Your Honor. Tingin ko po, billion po yon.
Bilyon?
Opo.
Saan nyo sinakay yung bilyon?
Sa mga van po. Kung di po ako nagkamali, mga 6 o 7 van po yung gamit namin nun.
7 van?
Pagdadala.
Bakit? Ilang maleta ba yung ilang bilyon na yon?
Ang laman po ng isang maleta, nasa 50 million po.
So ilang maleta lahat-lahat yun? Estimate mo, pagkatanda mo?
Mahigit po sa 20 maleta, Your Honor.
At 50 million?
Opo, Your Honor.
So mga 1 billion po yun, tama po ba?
Opo, Your Honor.
Saan po diniliver ito?
Yun nga po sa meron nung una po, doon po sa basement po ng Shangri-La.
Shangri-La Hotel?
Opo.
Saan Shangri-La po? Dalawa po,
sa,
tatlo po Shangri-La ito.
Sa BGC po.
Sa BGC, sa basement.
Opo.
So, paano? May kotse ba tumapat sa van ninyo? May mga van to van?
Wala po, sir. Kumbaga, diretso po siya sa elevator, paakyat po doon sa penthouse.
Kinarga po ninyo sa penthouse?
Sa pinakataas po. Actually, yung isang kasama po namin na si Engineer Paul, nakarating po siya mismo doon sa loob ng
penthouse?
Opo, sa taas.
So, yung 20 maleta na yon ay sa penthouse ninyo i-deliver sa Shangri-La?
Yes po, Your Honor.
Alright.
Bukod po sa Shangri-La, nagdadala rin po kami sa Valle Verde.
Valle Verde din po, bahay din po ito ni Congressman Saldico?
Kagaya nga po nung sinasabi ni Boss Henry kanina, kung hindi po ako nagkakamali, unang 2 taon sa Shangri-La po. Nung mga sumunod na taon, puro sa Valle Verde, 6 na po.
Moving forward, doon po sa mga 3 senador na nabanggit, Senator Jinggoy, Senator Villanueva, Senator Bong Revilla, na-meet nyo na po ba at any one time or any point na pumasyal po ito mga ito sa inyong tanggapan?
Ako po, hindi po. Parang hindi po sila napunta sa office.
Hindi nyo rin po nakita ito mga ito or nakita nyo, nakausap nila si Engineer Alcantara?
Si kay San Joel po, nakikita ko po nagkakausap sila, nagkakasama po sila.
Nagkakasama sila?
Opo.
What about Senator Jinggoy?
Kasi po, lagi po kami magkasama, di ba, sa halos umaga hanggang gabi po. Through phone po, actually pagka meron po yung instruction sa kanya ng merong utos sa akin si boss, galing, for example po, utos po ni Boss Robert na may po program na gantong amount dahil sa ganitong kay senador na ganito. Yun po.
Sino senator na ganito? Walang senator na ganito?
Pasensya na po. Kay senator, Senator Jinggoy po.
Alright. Tapos may sinasabi din siya, pati si Senator Bong Revilla na damay din. Ganon din ba ang sistema? Sinasabi na ikarga doon sa inyong listahan?
Ang instruction po niya, ganito yung obligasyon para kay Senator Jinggoy. So alam nyo na kung paano aatakihin ang programa ng project natin.
So lahat po ng ito dahil 25-30% narinig po natin kay Engineer Alcantara. So pwersado po na maging substandard ang proyekto or maging ghost na lang?
Nakakasigurado po ako na lahat po ng proyekto sa Bulacan First substandard po.
Lahat ng proyekto, particular na ang flood control, tama po ba?
Lahat po. Opo, Your Honor.
Substandard. Tapos na po ba ito? Hindi pa.
Hindi ko po alam sa ngayon, Your Honor. Wala po akong way para ma-monitor po siya.
All right. Thank you very much.
Mr. Chairman. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Yes,
Just follow up. With the indulgence of Senator Tulfo.
Sure, go ahead.
Bryce, sinasabi mo lahat ng proyekto ninyo substandard?
Opo, Your Honor, kasi lahat po ito may obligasyon na kailangan itago.
Lahat? As in, hindi lang flood control?
Opo, Your Honor. Hindi po namimit ko ano po yung eksaktong nasa plano, Your Honor.
So may plano ang DPWH, merong budget yan, pero dahil yung budget pinaghati-hatian ninyo, sa dulo, walang project na maayos na dumaan sa inyo.
Wala po.
Yan ang testimony mo ngayon.
Opo, Your Honor. Sa opisina po namin, Your Honor.
At yung hawak mo ulit ay anong mga proyekto, Bryce? Yung hawak nyo ni Alcantara?
Meron pong mga flood control structures, meron pong mga building, meron pong mga kalsada.
Pati
Your
classroom,
Honor.
kasama dyan, no?
Kasama po, Your Honor.
So lahat yan substandard?
Opo, hindi po tumatama sa plano na nakadesign talaga para dito.
Meron ba kayong proyekto na walang porsyentuhan? Na maayos, na matino? Meron ba?
Wala po, Your Honor.
Wala. This is Bulacan o buong Region 3?
Hindi ko po masabi yung sa ibang lugar, Your Honor. Ang sinasabi ko po yung sa nasasakupan po namin, wala po talaga, Your Honor.
Is it okay, Senator Tulfo?
We're suspending the rules on the 5 minutes because kakaunti lang naman tayo rito. So please proceed.
Secretary
With the
Bunoan,
provision, of course.
meron po ba kayong komento dito, Secretary Bunoan? Ito, anong years ito, Bryce? Anong years itong pinag-uusapan natin? Anong mga proyekto?
Mula po nung dumating si Boss Henry.
Which is?
2019 po.
2019 to 2025.
Up to present po.
6 na taon, walang maayos na proyekto dyan.
Wala pong tumama kung ano po yung nakaspecify sa plano. Hindi po na-meet lahat yun.
At lahat yan may porsyentuhan.
Lahat po, Your Honor.
Former Secretary Bunoan, may masasabi ka ba?
Excuse me, Senator Bam. Follow up lang, hindi afterthought ito, Alam mo ito habang nangyayari at the time.
Opo, may instruction po lahat to.
Aware kayo na talagang substandard.
Opo, Your Honor.
Hindi ngayon lang,
Hindi po ngayon lang, Your
Thank
Honor.
you, Senator Bam.
Secretary Bunoan, ano masasabi mo dyan?
I don't know what to say, Your Honor. This is the first time that I have heard about all these shenanigans that they're doing actually in this district engineering office. They're supposed to monitor.
Now, that is the ongoing probe in the Senate for the anomalous flood control projects wherein we've seen several exchanges. No, kanina, unang-una between Senator Rodante Marcoleta and Senator Ping Lacson.
And si Secretary Remulla.
Oo, nung una kasi before it all happened, 'di ba, nagkaroon sila ng mga pag-uusap. At some point, sinabi nga ni Marcoleta, kino-question niya yung impartiality ni Senator Ping Lacson. And even Senator Ping Lacson said naman, why are you so protective over the Discayas? No? So, and then the hearings was suspended, and then that's when Engineer Alcantara started to read his sworn statement. And then, in fact, may mga na-implicate siya, may mga pangalan siyang nasabi doon. Kasama na rin nga dyan si former Senator Bong Revilla. But before we proceed to that discussion, let's get details first on the ongoing Blue Ribbon Committee hearing on flood control anomalies. We have Mobile Journal.
We have with us a Mobile Journal, Merrimon Reyes, reporting live on the ground. Merrimon, aside from what we're seeing on the screen, syempre, ano ba ang nangyayari behind the scenes? May nararamdaman ka bang init ng mga senador?
Angela, kanina bago magsimula talaga yung pagdinig ng Blue Ribbon Committee na magsasalita na itong mga resource person, una nang nagsalita agad itong si dating Blue Ribbon Chairman, Senator Rodante Marcoleta. Yun nga, kinwestiyon niya yung impartiality ng komite, maging ng chairperson mismo na si Senator Ping. Kasunod ito ng isang panayam sa kanya kung saan nagbahagi siya ng kanyang komento sa credibility nitong mga resource person na supposedly nag-a-apply for the Witness Protection Program. Pero doon nagkaroon ng pagsususpend muna ng pagdinig ng komite. Naka-off yung mic pero nandun tayo mismo, narinig natin yung exchanges itong dalawang senador. And kini-question nga ni Senator Marcoleta, nasabi naman ni Senator Ping bakit niya raw parang pinoprotektahan itong mag-asawang Diskaya in comparison na dito kay Hernandez o yung iba pang mga personalidad na nandito sa pagdinig. Nakita natin kanina tumayo ito si Senator Marcoleta at akala nga natin mag-walk out. Pero nilapitan naman siya ni Senator Robin Padilla, Senate President Tito Soto, nag-usap-usap naman sila at parang narinig natin na baka kung sakali raw na may concern, baka pwedeng gawin na lang for sa plenary session i-raise mamaya as legislative inquiry. Sabi naman ni Senator Ping, mag-proceed na raw itong pagdinig and bukod dyan, una na nga nagsalita o binasa ni dating Bulacan District Engineer Henry Alcantara yung kanyang statement kung saan nabanggit niya na ang ilang mga kongresista at mga senador in relation doon sa budget insertions o sa issue ng anomalya sa flood control projects. At una, for Senator Joel Villanueva, nasabi niya, nagbigay daw siya ng quote ng assistance o tulong kay Senator Joel Villanueva para doon sa originally request daw for a multi-purpose building. Pero para ma-accommodate itong supposed request, yung proyekto na ito, kinuha na lamang daw nila yung request doon sa pondo for flood control. So dito ang nababanggit lagi na Alcantara na meron silang pag-uusap ni dating DPWH Yusek Roberto Bernardo tungkol dito sa mga budget insertion. Maging nabanggit niya rin itong si Senator Jinggoy Estrada na supposed nakatanggap ng around 25% na kickback o commission. Pero nilinaw naman ni Alcantara wala raw siyang direct communication dito kay Senator Jinggoy. Maging kay Senator Joel Villanueva kung meron daw ipapadala, papunta daw doon sa tanggapan, sa opisina o sa tauhan daw nitong mga senador. At bukod dyan, nagpakita rin kanina ng litrato o doon sa hearing ng bulto-bultong pera ulit na nasa lamesa ng district engineer. At ang sinabi niya, yung mga pera naman na daw yun ay para naman daw, yun ang mga kickbacks daw mula sa mga flood control project ni Representative Zaldico. Na-link din ngayon sa around 300 million pesos na budget allocation o insertion. Itong si dating Senadora Bong Revilla. At ang nasabi rin dito ni Yusek Bernardo kay Alcantara, ito raw ay around 2024 doon sa GAA lumabas, taong tumatakbo naman sa pagkasenador si Bong Revilla. Pinayagan din naman ng Senadong Committee itong si Justice Secretary Remulla na dalhin si Alcantara sa DOJ para ma-evaluate kung yung kanyang sworn statement.
Okay, sige. Babalikan ka namin dyan, Mary Mon, reporting live from the Senate. Meanwhile, Northern Luzon reels as Super Typhoon Nando brings heavy rains, strong winds, and mass evacuations. Here's the report.
Super Typhoon Nando unleashed its fury over Northern Luzon. In Sabtang, Batanes, fierce winds whistled across the island accompanied by torrential rains. In Pasco, towering waves jolted residents awake as they slammed into Boulder Beach.
Zero visibility na yun.
In Ivana, relentless downpours reduced visibility to zero, forcing motorists to halt their trips. The entire province of Batanes was placed under signal number 5 as Nando barreled through.
Mas malakas po yung last year, pero konti lang po ang difference. Opo.
Okay po.
Saka, ang problema po kasi, ang comparison last year, medyo hindi kami nakapag-prepare ng earlier. Pero ngayon po kasi talagang 2 days before, talagang in-anticipate na po namin yung situation.
In Santa Maria, Ilocos Sur, powerful winds nearly stripped homes bare. As the storm raged, people could be heard screaming and weeping. A tornado also formed in Barangay Maynganay, adding to the destruction. In Santa Ana, Cagayan, strong winds sent residents scrambling for shelter. Photos from Calayan show the roofs of nipa huts ripped away by the storm. And in Mountain Province, the Chico River in Bontoc swelled dangerously, close to overflowing after hours of unrelenting rain. According to the NDRRMC, more than 4,000 families were evacuated across several provinces before the storm made landfall. For News 5, Mon Gualvez, we are One News.
Now, Super Typhoon Nando has exited the Philippine area of responsibility, according to Pag-asa. For more details, we have weather specialist John Manalo joining us today. Good morning, Sir John. Can you hear us okay?
Good morning po.
Good. Meron pa, ano pa po ba yung update natin dito sa pag-alis ni Super Typhoon Nando? At itong binabantayan natin isa pang maaaring magbigay ng bagyo sa ating Philippine area of responsibility.
Opo, yung update po natin dito kay Super Typhoon na si Nando ay tuluyan na siyang lumabas ng PAR kaninang 4:50 AM. Pero may nakataas pa rin tayo ng signal number 3. At sa susunod na issuance natin, ang pinakamataas na lang natin ay tataas na signal number ay number 2. At habang papalayo ito, dahil may kalakihan itong si Bagyong Nando, ay nag-extend pa rin yung kaulapan at lakas ng hangin. Kaya naman meron pa rin tayo nakataas na storm surge, ganun din yung gale warning, at ganun din naman yung mga pag-ulan. At yung mga pag-ulan na yan, yung mga nakataas sa weather advisory natin. Also, kasama din sa paghihila nitong si Bagyong Nando, yung nararanasan natin na paminsang-minsang lakas na hangin dito sa Metro Manila, at nagko-contribute din yan na mapalakas yung southwest monsoon o yung habagat, kaya nakakaranas din tayo ng mga pag-ulan. Pero sa mga susunod na oras, by this evening and bukas, sa mga susunod na araw ay mas mababawasan na yung mga pag-ulan. Pero patungkol naman po dito sa ating minomonitor na low pressure area previously, ngayon ay nag-develop na into tropical depression. Ngayong 8 AM kanina at nananatili ito sa labas ng Philippine Area of Responsibility. Within this day, ay mataas na yung tsansa na ito ay pumasok ng Philippine Area of Responsibility. Gagalaw ito pa west-northwest, papalapit sa eastern coast ng Eastern Visayas or sa Southern Luzon, particular na sa Bicol region. Kaya yung weekends natin, pinakamaaga ito, by the way, na makaka-apekto sa atin yung track or extension nitong tatawagin natin na si Bagyong Opong, ay makaka-apekto sa atin earliest ay yung Thursday, and then by Friday, malapit na ito sa coastal areas ng Bicol region or Eastern Visayas.
Sir John, itong si Super Typhoon Nando, saan siya patungo ngayon? And then may posibilidad ba na malusaw siya along the way o magiging same impact din siya dun sa kanyang pupuntahan?
Unti-unti na po na humihina itong si Super Typhoon na si Nando, and then sa mga susunod na oras ay posible na maging isang typhoon category na lang ito. Ang pupuntahan po niya ay yung Southern China, yung coastal areas ng Southern China, at magpapatuloy po ito na kumilos pa westward.
And sa ngayon po, yung binabantayan natin na tropical depression, ano ang magiging impact niyan dito sa ating bansa at which area yung makakaranas ng matinding impact?
Opo, habang lumalapit po ito dito sa ating East Coast, dito sa Philippine Sea, sa silangang bahagi ng ating bansa, ay posible na makaranas na naman tayo ng mga malalakas na pag-ulan, lalo na kapag ito ay malaki po kasi yung posibilidad na ito ay mag-landfall. Somewhere between sa Southern Luzon, Calabarzon, Mimaropa, babagtasin po niya yan. Pero again, itong ating forecast ngayon ay posible pa na magbago. Ang pinakamataas na intensity na nakikita natin sa kasalukuyan ay tropical storm, pero posible pa na ito ay mas lumakas or mas sumina or mas kung yung paglakas niya ay may contribution po yung pagbaybay niya dito sa karagatan natin sa silangang bahagi ng Philippine Area of Responsibility. At hihina naman po ito kapag tumama na ito sa ating kalupaan. Ang impact po nito ay parehong malalakas na hangin na associated sa kanyang intensity at yung mga pag-ulan na associated naman doon sa rain bands ng si Bagyo.
John, klaruhin ko lang, no? At least for the information of our viewers. So, is it safe to say that this whole week, makakaranas also in the metro na walang tigil ng pag-ulan?
Sa ngayon po, nakakaranas tayo ng mga pag-ulan kasi meron po tayong rainfall advisory dito sa Metro Manila, sa Pampanga at sa Bulacan. So, mananatili po yan sa susunod na 1 hanggang 3 oras. Pero, unti-unti na po yan mababawasan habang patapos na yung araw. And then bukas at sa isang araw ay mas mababawasan pa yung mga pag-ulan natin. Pero by Friday, na nalalapit na po itong si Bagyong Opong, Friday, Saturday po, ay dito na naman tayo makakaranas ng mga pag-ulan.
So in other words, this next tomorrow, and a few days after, may konting pahinga tayo. And then we have to brace ourselves again for the weekend.
Yes po.
Okay. With that, thank you very much for the updates, Pag-asa Weather Specialist John Manalo of Pag-asa. Ayun, so ang daming nangyayari. We have the Bagyo, si Nando, and another Bagyo coming this weekend. We also have the Senate hearing that's ongoing, Blue Ribbon Committee hearing.
So we'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. Good morning. You're still watching News and Views here on One News. So the Senate resumes its probe into the anomalous flood control projects.
This is the Blue Ribbon Committee,
yes,
chaired by Senator Panfilo Lacson.
Let's watch this.
Meron naka-bloated po siya, so meron pong pagkukunan po ng expenses, kagaya po nung proponent.
So, ibig mo sabihin, doon pa lang bago mag-bidding, bloated na yung presyo ng yung proyekto. For example, proyekto ng isang school building nasa 50 million, gagawing magkano yun? 60 million.
Tama po, Your Honor.
Para yung 10 million ay para sa mga proponent, lahat ng panggastos na sinasabi mo.
Tama po, Your Honor.
Pero so far, hindi naman nagdedelikado ang mga Pilipino na gawa ninyo, lalo ng mga taga Bulacan, baka nagkaroon ng earthquake, harinawa, wag naman, magkaroon ng 6 magnitude na earthquake bukas dyan sa Bulacan, hindi mamamatay yung mga estudyante, hindi mamamatay yung pasyente sa mga ospital, eskwelahan na ginawa ninyo?
Hindi naman po sana, Your Honor.
What do you mean hindi sana? Hindi ka sigurado kung gaano katibay ang tinayo ninyo nila Alcantara na yung building? Ikaw, Mendoza, ikaw yung project engineer. Will you guarantee us today na matibay pag nagkaroon ng intensity 5 na earthquake, yung mga building na tinayo ninyo dyan sa Bulacan ay hindi maguguha at hindi mamamatay ang mga estudyante, yung mga pasyente sa ospital hindi mamamatay?
Yes, Your Honor po.
Will you guarantee that?
Yes po.
Bakit mo nasasabi na guaranteed na hindi siya guguho?
Yung ini-explain po kasi ni Engineer Bryce, kumbaga, kung ito po yung standard po natin na plano, ang nangyayari po, kung ito yung binigay ng DOH, kung halimbawang 2x2, sa program po yon magiging 4x4 para yung gastos po sa proponent, sa opisina, sa bidding, kumbaga ma-cover po natin yung mga gastos.
Sana nga ganun, sana nga dinudoktor niyo, pero just the same, yung pandoktor ninyo doon, pwede pang magastos sa ibang proyekto sana dito sa Pilipinas. Pero hindi, napupunta lang sa bulsa ng mga proponent, napupunta sa mga panggastos. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm done.
Thank you, Senator Tulfo. Senator Bato de la Rosa, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Sa Diskaya, Kopol, base sa datos ng DPWH, kasama na kayo sa government projects, hindi lang sa flood control, since 2012 onwards. Available din sa YouTube videos ang pasilip sa kwento ng negosyo nyo. Sabi mo pa nga noong huling Christmas party ninyo, hindi namin expected na mag-asawa na makakarating sa ganito na tagumpay. Kami man dito ay hindi rin makakapaniwala. For the record, sa usapin ng pagtagumpay, can you share kung gaano kalaking halaga ang naging government projects ninyo sa mga lumilipas na administrasyon? Kasi ang gusto nilang imbestigahan is way back pa, panahon pa ni Pinoy. Mayroon ba kayong data dyan? Panahon ni Pinoy, panahon ni President Duterte, sa present administration?
Your Honor, nung panahon po ni President Pinoy at saka ng President Duterte po, nung mga panahon po na yun, ay kadalasan po ng mga nakukuha po naming mga projects is mga kalsada po at mga building. Bihira po ang flood control noon. At kung may flood control man po noon, ay kadalasan po drainage line canal po kadalasan. So yun po ang kadalasan namin nakukuha. Yun po, Your Honor. Yung data po, Your Honor, hindi ko po nadala, pero yung iba naman po doon is nagkaroon po ng mutual termination tulad po ng right-of-way problem, mga na mutual terminate dahil road right-of-way po ang naging problema kadalasan.
Okay. Kung wala kang data, meron akong data dito. According to Philippine Center for Investigative Journalism, you may confirm this or deny this, but according to the records available na nakalap ng PCIJ, Panahon ni late President Noynoy Aquino, nakakuha daw kayo ng 10.7 billion government projects. Hindi sinasabi dito kung flood control or what, basta government projects. Panahon ni former President Rodrigo Duterte, you were able to secure 12.3 billion. And for the first 3 years of President Marcos, hindi pa tapos ito, first 3 years pa lang, nakakuha kayo ng 31 billion na worth of government projects. Can you confirm this?
Your Honor, masyado pong mataas yung sinabi ng PCIJ, pero sa data po namin, nabawasan po yun kasi po may iba po doon na hindi po natuloy dahil sa road right-of-way problem po, yung iba.
So, pero naglalaro along these figures?
Medyo,
more or less?
medyo malapit po doon. Opo.
Medyo malapit?
Pero hindi po ganyang kataas. Opo.
Thank you. Sa kasalukuyang administrasyon, 31 bilyong halaga. This according to PCIJ, sabi nyo, pwedeng kulang, pwedeng 31 bilyong halaga ng kontrata na ang nakuha ng inyong kumpanya. Mas malaki pa ito kaysa budget para sa housing and community amenities. Ano ang inyong sekreto? Bakit korporasyon ng pamilya ninyo ang laging nakakauna at nakakakuha ng project sa DPWH?
Your Honor, bali po, yung iba po dito, kadalasan po, ay lumalaban po kami sa bidding, kadalasan. At yung iba po dito, Your Honor, ay pinapadyaryo po kasi namin, kaya minsan takot sila. At kadalasan po dito, Your Honor, ay ano po, pagpapadyaryo at ang tawag po nila sa amin minsan pasaway dahil po minsan po nangangagaw po kami ng mga project sa mga DPWH po. Ang tawag po nila sa amin pasaway dahil minsan po hindi pag sinusunod po namin yung RA 9184, pasaway na po ang tawag nila sa amin, kailangan makisama daw po kami sa kanilang mga rig bidding.
Thank you.
All right, that is the ongoing Senate probe on the anomalous flood control projects wherein Bryce Hernandez himself said lahat daw ng proyekto na ay talagang marked substandards. Even the street lights, not just the flood control projects, diba? Schools, roads, hospitals.
Ni Senator Ping Lacson, lahat. Lahat.
Okay. All right. Now, in other news, authorities are now looking at possible terrorist involvement in Sunday's violent clashes in Manila. Here's the report.
Police stationed at the Ayala Bridge fortified their barricades on Sunday as rallyists in black garb and masks aggressively attacked amid the rally in Manila against corruption on Sunday. Obviously from their attire, these rioters were not part of the trillion-peso marchers who wore white. Over in Mendiola, right after Kabataan and Bayan Muna finished their programs, rallyists in black and with masks rushed in and threw Molotov bombs at policemen barricading the area. They also torched tobacco. The Interior Department is investigating possible terrorist involvement in the riot. The ILG Secretary John Vic Remulla confirmed receiving intelligence reports of a terror plot to bomb protest sites in Luneta and along EDSA over the weekend.
The threat of the terrorists was more of a bomb that would go off in Luneta or in the Luneta or in the People Power Monument. But with the vigilance of our PNP to look at the situation, because we had 400 policemen on the ground dressed as plainclothes to see what was going on and to assess, and the vigilance paid off and none of it transpired. Safe to say, we are still investigating according to our intelligence reports, and we will come out with a report pretty soon.
Remulla added that those arrested may face charges of arson, physical injuries and inciting to sedition after allegedly threatening to burn down Malacanang Palace. Meanwhile, the National Capital Region Police Office said a well-known rapper allegedly incited minors and members of the so-called hip-hop gangster or gangs to provoke violence during the demonstrations.
Ongoing yung investigation natin regarding dito, pero meron na rin naman po kaming person of interest na tinitingnan na posibleng nag-influence sa kanila ng mag-conduct ng ala Nepal na mga activities. Rapper siya, isa siyang rapper na tinitingnan nitong ating mga kabataan. Previously, meron siyang mga post sa social media na nag-iinganyo po siya na mag-dress in all black, mag-mask ng black.
In all, a total of 216 were apprehended around the areas of Ayala Bridge and Mendiola, 89 of them minors. 95 PNP personnels were injured. For News 5, Maricel Halili, We Are One News.
DICT Secretary Henry Aguda said up to 21,000 online posts were removed after being found to contain dangerous instructions for making Molotov cocktails and other materials that could pose a security threat during the September 21 mass protest. Aguda also told 1PHS sa Totoo Lang that the DICT recorded 1.4 million attempts to breach government digital assets, including websites and apps. 19 breaches were successful, 15 of which involved local government units. He assured that the agency immediately coordinated with the LGUs to resolve the incidents.
Parang ano yan, destabilization na yan. Kasi alam mo ang ginagawa ng mga iba, ginagamit nila yung social media para manggulo na. Marami na po kaming na-take down na, example lang po, yung paggawa ng Molotov. Ang dami po yan. Ang dami po namin tinanggal niyan. Friday pa lang, mga 21,000 yung tinanggal namin na content. Yes. Tapos nabanggit ko nga kanina, 1.4 million yung attempts to breach yung government. Saludo po tayo sa mga tao natin sa CICC, DICT. Yan po yung ginagawa nila since Friday pa po.
Don't go away because we're not done yet. Please stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching News and Views here on One News. President Bongbong Marcos has ordered the return of 60 billion pesos in excess funds of PhilHealth. Let's talk more about that with PhilHealth spokesperson Dr. Ish Pargas. Doc, thank you for joining us.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, Angelo, and good morning to all your watchers.
All right, Doc Ish, yung latest pronouncement ng Pangulo about returning the 60 billion pesos immediately sa PhilHealth for benefits and coverage for members. Paano po makaka-impact ito moving forward sa inyo?
Well, this will be, of course, first, we are very happy and appreciative to PBBM's decision. This is a welcome development. Alam mo naman, Angelo, that we have been aggressively increasing our benefits. For the past 2 years, we have expanded even our coverage. And so this 60 billion will technically provide sustainability on our programs and, of course, the plans still of more benefit expansion in the coming years.
Okay. Just to be clear lang po, Doc Ish, kailan po ba maibibigay ito sa PhilHealth, itong pagbabalik, pag-return ng 60 billion na fund sa inyo? Ano po ba yung mekanismo nito?
Yes, good morning, Angela. Yes. But although it was said that it should be returned immediately, we still don't know yet the mechanism on how this will be returned to us, whether this will be part of the savings for 2025 or part of the 2026 General Appropriations Act. So we are still waiting for that. And we don't know yet when it will be returned to us exactly.
So, go ahead.
Yeah, so once it is returned to you, Doc Ish, ano po yung unang gagawin ng PhilHealth? Saan po nila ilalaan itong pondo na ito pagdating sa expansion ng mga packages po ninyo? Pati nung usapin po ng universal healthcare po.
Well, opo. So, unang-una, syempre, siya ay mapapadagdag sa ating retained earnings. And of course, kung kakailanganin na po, we will, especially kasi ngayong taong ito, we plan to expand yung ating kala-launch lang na benefit package, yung ating gamot, wherein we provided free medicines, 54 medicines to every Filipino with a 20,000 peso package for everyone for the whole year.
So, Doc
At libreng makukuha yung mga gamot with, of course, meron din tayong bagong program, yung screening for cancers, na libre ding makukuha ng ating mga miyembro. So, this will actually help provide and sustain the funding for those.
So Doc Ish, parang correct me if I'm wrong na, pero yung paglalaanan nitong pagbalik ng pondo is more on capital expenditure rather than operational?
This will be more on benefit expansion.
Okay. So pero it's moving forward, it doesn't affect this year's benefits?
Yes, hindi naman po,
Okay.
because kahit wala po yung 60 billion na i-announce, ay talagang nakaplano naman po kami na magpalabas pa ng mga bagong benepisyo, katulad po nung nire-review natin yung ating benefits package for leptospirosis, for animal bites, for HIV, even our maternity benefit packages for normal spontaneous delivery, and even cesarean, ay nire-review rin po natin. So, kahit po wala yung 60 billion, we are still continuing to expand our benefits.
Okay, Shano, alam naman po natin nagkaroon po ng malaking kontrobersiya itong pag-alis po ng pondo sa PhilHealth, and of course nagkaroon po ng trust issues between among the members regarding this. And moving forward, dyan po ba sa PhilHealth, are we considering also kumbaga transparency sa ating mga miyembro pagdating po nitong 60 billion pesos po sa inyo, para po makita po ng mga miyembro kung saan po nadadala na ipaghati-hati itong 60 billion na to sa mga proyekto na nabanggit po ninyo?
Yeah, tama ka dyan, Angela. And we would like also to think that the return of the 60 billion is already a show or a start that the government is starting to again put their trust in PhilHealth, nakakayanin namin na mag-expand ang mga benepisyo at talagang mapababa yung out-of-pocket expense ng ating mga miyembro. Yes, we support transparency, and part of our Rise 30 mission, this is our, because we are on our 30th year, part of our Rise to 30 mission is ang PhilHealth dapat ngayon ay mas mabilis, patas at mas mapapagkatiwalaan ang serbisyo.
All right, we will continue to get in touch with you regarding this issue. For the meantime, thank you so much for your time. PhilHealth spokesperson Dr. Ish Pargas.
All right, newly elected House Speaker Boji D said he prefers to end the Infrastructure Committee's investigation into anomalous flood control projects, citing a lack of public trust. In his first interview with reporters, D said the inquiry should instead be handled by the Independent Commission for Infrastructure, or ICI. The flood control scandal has put Congress under scrutiny, with contractors alleging that some lawmakers received kickbacks from flood-related projects. D added that releasing the SALNs of all public officials is one way to rebuild public confidence.
Total, hindi naman pinaniniwalaan ng ating karamihan ng ating mga kababayan kung anong nangyayari dito sa Incacom. Sa tingin ko, mas makakabuti na ipasa na namin sa ICI.
Catholic Bishops' Conference of the Philippines, or CBCP, President Cardinal Pablo Virgilio David reacted to Vice Ganda's call to bring back the death penalty for corrupt officials. Cardinal David, in a Facebook post, said that while he understands the anger towards corrupt politicians, capital punishment almost always sees the poor suffer and executed while the wealthy escape. That is why the Cardinal said the answer to corruption cannot be more death, but a deeper reform of justice, one that protects the poor and holds the powerful accountable. On Sunday, Vice Ganda called for the reinstatement of the death penalty for corrupt officials who she said are worse than murderers.
Yan, so medyo nga
Dami nangyayari po ngayon.
Yeah,
So
these
please
last
stay
2 weeks,
tuned.
stay tuned to our coverage of the Bagyo, and also at the Blue Ribbon Committee hearing chaired by Senator Panfilo Lacson, which is heating up.
Yes, also present there right now, the wife of Curly Descaya, Sara Descaya.
Sara Descaya is there, yeah.
Absent the last hearing. Also, Yusek Cabral
Yes.
is there. Subpina siya because last time she was also
And
absent.
abangan nila si Engineer Alcantara. He was taken away muna to the DOJ by Secretary Remulla to put on record his testimony. But he will be brought back at 1:30 sa Senate Blue Ribbon Committee. You can watch that, and then that's when the senators will now propound their questions towards the testimony, sworn statement of Engineer Alcantara. All right, that wraps up today's episode of News and Views.
Join us again tomorrow. I'm Angela Lagunsad Castro.
Mangelo Castro III, we are One News.
All sides, all the time.